great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Oh, yeah, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. And what is that choice? It's the choice of thought. Remember, that's where it all starts. Bob Proctor saying, everything happens twice. First in the mind, second in its physical form, had a huge impact in my life. And it can have the same impact for you if you'll just start thinking that way. See, that's a way of thinking that unfortunately most people don't understand or don't get. But when you start to think like that, it starts to change the results. Why? Well, because thought externalizes itself. You become how you're thinking most of the time. And again, guess who gets to decide how you're going to think most of the time? Remember, if you don't like the way things are right now, you can change it. You can change what's happening in your life simply by shifting what's happening in your mind, your marvelous mind, your magnificent mind, your spectacular mind. See, that's what we had to do ourselves. I had to do that, stepping into this realm of helping people to change by changing me, the same way that Dolly had to do the same thing for herself when she stepped into this realm too, when we started to go into the power of our mind. And that's what we've been studying here in this beautiful gem here, the Master Key System. And boy, hasn't it been amazing stepping into this, using this, applying this in your life? Again, I shared this a few days ago, and I looked at the time that we first started studying this, and it was November 10th, 2024. And look, right now it's the 13th. Oh my gosh, it's been a year where we've been diving into this. And boy, it's been amazing. So, with that being said, the reminder for you is to continue to underline, highlight, and even memorize, but more importantly, to apply it in your life. Because remember, all of this knowledge, it's not power. It only becomes power when you use it. All right. So another reminder that I'm going to give to you as well is to make sure you have a copy of this, because this is what we're going to be diving into next. This beautiful gem here completely decimates the idea of self-sabotage. There is no such thing as self-sabotage. And this brilliantly destroys that and introduces you to who you truly are and the power that you have inside of you. And that's going to be amazing when we do dive into that. All right, so let's go into this, shall we? Let's go into where we left off in this beautiful gem. Here we go. Boom, there it is. We're on page 422. And we're going to go over this question again, just as what I shared with you in the last session. You say that life is an unfoldment, not accretion. What comes to us in the world without is what we already possess in the world within. Now, I instructed you to underline this. Life is an unfoldment, not accretion. What comes to us in the world without is what we already possessed in the world within. What comes to you in the world without is what you already possess in the world within. Remember, your outer world, the results of your life, your outcomes, how much you earn, what you do for work, is a reflection of what's happening inside. If you want to change what's on the outside, change what's on the inside. Very simple. Now he goes further. Do you not take into consideration knowledge a person acquires from books, experiences, etc.? Well, again, what does he say here? He says, you can derive absolutely no benefit from books, experiences, environment, or anything else until you have created brain cells capable of receiving the thought. In other words, until you've connected with it. Your world within is an exact correspondence of your world without. That's a wonderful thing for you to write in the first person. Matter of fact, write that right now in the first person. My world within is an exact correspondence of my world without. Let's say that again. My world within is an exact correspondence to my world without. James Allen talks about how the within is ceaselessly becoming the without. Suppose for a moment that you are unfamiliar with Hebrew language. A book might be given to you, with the most beautiful thoughts written in the most wonderful language, but it would mean nothing to you until you had made yourself acquainted with the Hebrew language. And so with everything else. Now let's think about that for you with all of this. All of this information is amazing, it's beautiful, but isn't it interesting how it wasn't seen as amazing and beautiful until you became accustomed to the language that's in here, the language of Charles Haanel. A lot of people would look at that and go, oh my gosh, that book is so thick. Oh my gosh, look at all those words. And it would be meaningless to someone who looks at it that way. But once you enter into the spirit of it, now there's connection. Now, I have referred to Thomas Troward's essay, Entering into the Spirit of It, which I highly recommend all of you make as one of your staple jewels of wisdom that you tap into and connect with. Because when you do connect with entering into the spirit of an idea, of maybe even an author, maybe even within these calls, entering in the spirit of Elevitality, what will happen from there is that feeling, which then will lead to the outcome of your life. Now, let's think about this for you. This wonderful idea that you've written down on a goal card. See, the way that you will see this as a result in your outer world is if you speak the language of this, is if you connect with it, become one with it. No thought, no idea, no experience has any value for us until we are capable of receiving it. For this reason, the same thought would make absolutely no impression upon one man, while it would be received with amazement and delight by another. Again, why? Well, the difference is that one is entered into the spirit of the idea and the other one hasn't. The first man has formed no brain cells capable of receiving it. The second man is ready for it. He understands the beauties contained in the idea. Now, and again, isn't that amazing when there is that connection, how it does move you physically to go and do things? Now, let's go further. It is correct to say that true religion and true science are twins, and that the death of one means the death of the other? Now, is that correct? Is it correct to say that true religion and true science are twins, and that the death of one means the death of other, and why? Now, this is a really big thing. And if you get it, it's going to help you a lot. True science and true religion are certainly twins. There can be no death for either, though, because what is true cannot die. Type that in the comments. What is true cannot die. Can't. The essential characteristic of truth is steadfast fidelity to order the law. The mind takes offense at every phenomena of both inner and outer experience which appears to contradict that steadiness and constancy which it regards as the very essence of truth. And what does that mean? Well, what it means simply is that truth is in you. And your subconscious mind knows of that truth. You can think of it as science is the lens and religion is the light. The lens without light sees nothing. The light without the lens cannot focus. You will see that this applies in both science and religion. What is true in science must be true in religion. Underline that. What is true in science must be true in religion. There cannot be a scientific truth and a religious truth. All truth is one and indivisible. Now let's go back to what I just shared with you about that metaphor. Again, think of science as the lens and religion as the light. You get the lens, you get the light. The lens without light sees nothing. And the light without a lens cannot focus. See, together they bring truth into clear view. It's so interesting how there's lots of people in this world who are saying it's all about the science and religion, not understanding that they're completely connected and that they reinforce each other. There is no conflict between reason and revelation. There isn't. It's only between misunderstanding and pride. See, that's where the conflict is. Your job in this life, yes, is to sow, but with that is to gain understanding, not knowledge, to gain understanding. And the only way the understanding comes into play is when you do pull into play religion and science. You can look at, for instance, Wallace Wattles' books. There is a science to getting rich, the science of getting rich. With that being said, there is belief that's got to be taken place inside of you too. See, they work closely together. Now, how do materialism and spiritualism find harmony in the master key system? Well, the master key system teaches that there is but one principle, one power. That everything which exists is a materialization of this one power. Now, before we dive into the rest of this paragraph, to connect with it, I'm going to share a reminder for those of you who are watching this live stream that if you want to dive deeper into this, to watch the replays, to be with us, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.